I am the youngest of 8 children. My dad had a lot of parties, so it was a very social atmosphere. We went camping a lot. I originally come from the San Fernando Valley, San Fernando Silmar area, but I remember growing up at the age of like 12 or 13, sneaking into my dad's cooler when we were camping and grabbing a beer. I was very mischievous, curious. My older brother smoked marijuana, so I think that was definitely, it had an effect on me as far as my partying life started. And then I started to ditch school when I was in junior high. I met a friend and we would ditch and go to his house and smoke pot and drink. But I made it all the way through high school without any major problems. Then afterwards, after high school, I used to DJ, and DJing got introduced to cocaine. Started doing lines of cocaine with the alcohol. Got a DUI, my first DUI at the age of 19 or 20. At the age of 23, I joined the Navy, and I wanted to get away. Even though it was good to serve my country, it was peacetime, so there was also a lot of drinking involved. So I continued my career as a drinking career, and I got into trouble a couple times because of drinking. And I did get my honorable discharge, and I got out of the Navy, and I was married. I got married while I was in the Navy. My wife, Lillian, was an RN, and we lived in Burbank. And so I started a business with my brother. It was a meat market. So I went from drinking and cocaine, powder cocaine, to I was introduced to rock cocaine by one of my employees, and I tried it, and that started me on a 10-year journey of using and just becoming a dysfunctional human being. My dad, finally he had enough, and he got a restraining order on me, and I was no longer to be around. So I got forced to be homeless, and that's where I was, sleeping in cars. I did come here to Community Action. They did help me with showers and clothing, and I would go to the mission to go eat lunch or dinner. And so that was my experience with homelessness. It was 2007 when I got the 4th DUI, and then I actually got sentenced. I had to turn myself in 2008 in March, where I went and did my 8 months in county jail. When I got out, I remember being very grateful and humble. I went to go see my mother, and I let her know that I was gonna go to a home, a program of sober living, and she said that I could stay with my parents as long as I was doing good. And I just remember being very grateful and humbled by that. I remember there was a marriage family therapist in jail at Todd Road. He would give us a life skills class twice a week, and we would come. He called it the village, so there was no racial strife. And would do little stories, and one of the stories was, do you run from your fears, or do you run towards your fears? And that one really hit me, because I would run from my fears. Immaturity, didn't want to grow up. Finally, the fact that, hey, you know what? I'm going to run towards my fears. I want to be responsible. I want to pay my bills on time. I want to rent a place. The buck stops here. And so that one had really hit home. And I try to live by the principles of AA, which are be honest, help the next man, be accountable, be humble, be grateful, which I try to live by today. I work here at Community Action at Homeless Services. I do referrals. Here I help people that need come and pick up their mail, or they need a bus pass, or a voucher for an ID, or even a food bag, which we give out, that are provided by Food Share. On Mondays and Fridays, we do showers. If we have extra clothes to give out, we'll give it to them, underwear, socks, and they can take a 15-minute shower, and then we'll provide them with a lunch. They come here and they can charge their phones. We also have mail services where they can come and get their mail here. Just this morning, I gave out a phone that this gentleman was waiting for, and he was desperate for, because he told me his story, and I told him a little bit about myself. So he opened up to me and said that he was using heroin, And I asked him, and he said he was trying to get into a rehab, Tarzana treatment center, and he needed that phone to call the treatment center to go get help. And I invited him back to come and talk to me, or told him a little bit about what we did in our services. So we're kind of like a one-stop service that we can help people who are living on the streets, or living in their car, or sleeping on the side of the road. They can connect to us through here and get the basic human services that they deserve. I believe a huge component of getting well is having a support system, and that's the one thing that I do see with homeless people. They don't, and I've talked to them many times because that problem really intrigues me, and I'll ask them, do you have family? And many times they'll say they don't talk to them, or they're angry at them. And many times they'll beat themselves up by continuing to drink or use because they're angry and they don't know how to ask, hey, can we forgive each other? Or I'm sorry, mom or brother or sister. So they stay in that negative, angry state of mind, and they pretty much do self-harm to themselves. Getting well and getting sober enabled me to get a job and having money to pay rent. So definitely, as I worked on myself, well, obviously I stayed with my parents for a while, but I was able to actually stand on my own 2 feet and rent my own place and be stable. I know they prayed for me, and so that was it for me that helped pull me out of the pit that I was in and helped change me back at the age of 46 to here I am 15 years later, sober and working and having my family invite me to their houses and on vacations, and it's a great feeling, and even having a healthy relationship with my ex-wife and one with my son. I'd like to share with others that might be afflicted with whatever the problem might be in their lives, that to never give up hope, and that it's never too late to make a change, a positive change in your life, and helping yourself and learning how to love yourself so that you can love others.